The river's embrace. Once upon a time in a small village nestled between two mountains, there lived an old man named Sho. Sho was a kind and gentle soul, known throughout the village for his wisdom and compassion. He had spent many years studying the teachings of Zen and had become a respected teacher in his own right. One day, while walking by the river that ran through the village, Sho noticed a young man sitting by the water's edge, looking troubled. The young man, named Kaito, was a skilled woodworker in the village, well known for his beautiful carvings. Sho approached Kaito and asked, "What troubles you, young one?" "I have lost my inspiration," Kaito replied, his voice heavy with sorrow. "My hands once created such beautiful things, but now they are idle. And I feel as if I have lost my way." Sho sat down beside Kaito and gazed out at the river. After a few moments, he said, "The river before us flows from the mountains to the sea, always moving, always changing. It does not cling to the rocks or the banks, it simply flows, embracing each new moment with grace and ease. In this river, we can find the nature of Zen." Kaito nodded, but he was still unsure of how this related to his struggle. Sensing this, Sho continued, "As the river flows, it encounters obstacles, but it does not resist them. Instead, it flows around them, finding a new path, a new way of being. In this way, the river teaches us the wisdom of adaptation and acceptance." Kaito considered these words, but still, he felt a heaviness in his heart. He looked at Sho and said, "But how do I find my way back to the river's flow? How do I find the inspiration that once flowed through me?" Sho smiled gently and said, "Let us take a walk together." The two men stood up and began to stroll along the riverbank. As they walked, they spoke of many things, the beauty of nature, the mysteries of the universe, and the joys and sorrows of life. As they continued to walk, they came upon a gnarled old tree that had fallen across the river. Its branches reached out like the arms of a dancer, gracefully embracing the water. Sho gestured toward the tree and said, "This tree was once a part of the forest, rooted deeply in the earth. But the wind and the rain and time have brought it here, to this place where it now lies, a bridge across the river. It has adapted to its new circumstances, finding a new way of being." Kaito looked at the tree, and he began to see the beauty in its transformation. He slowly approached the tree and ran his fingers along its rough bark, feeling the history and wisdom that it held within. As he stood there, a sudden inspiration began to well up within him, and he knew that he had found his way back to the river's flow. Excited, Kaito turned to Sho and said, "I understand now. I must be like the river, embracing each new moment and adapting to the changes that life brings. I must allow my art to flow through me, without resistance or attachment." Sho smiled and nodded, pleased that Kaito had found his way back to the river's embrace. As they continued their walk, Kaito shared his newfound inspiration with Sho, describing the beautiful carvings that he would create, each one a testament to the wisdom of the river and the beauty of change. Over the years, Kaito's art flourished, and he became an even more accomplished woodworker. His carvings were sought after not only in his village but in far-off lands as well. And as his reputation grew, so too did the wisdom that he had learned from the river. He shared this wisdom with others, teaching them the lessons of adaptation, acceptance, and the beauty of change. And so, the river's embrace flowed through Kaito and his art, touching the lives of countless people and inspiring them to find their own path, their own way of being. The river's teachings rippled out, like the water that flowed through the village, ever-changing and ever-flowing. A constant reminder of the beauty and wisdom that can be found in the embrace of the river. Inspiration. After reading The River's Embrace, one can be inspired by the wisdom and teachings of both Sho and the river itself. The story highlights the importance of embracing change, adaptation, and acceptance in our lives, teaching us to flow with the currents of life rather than resisting or clinging to the past. Furthermore, the story demonstrates that by embracing change and following our own unique paths, we can find inspiration and fulfillment in our lives. Kaito's journey from feeling lost and uninspired to becoming an even more renowned artist is a testament to the power of embracing change and adapting to the circumstances life presents us with. The story also serves as a reminder that wisdom can be found all around us, in nature and in the people we encounter on our journey through life. Through Sho's guidance and the lessons learned from the river and the fallen tree, Kaito discovered a new way of approaching his art and life in general. Lastly, the river's embrace can inspire us to share the wisdom we gain with others, just as Kaito shared the lessons he learned with those around him. By spreading the teachings of adaptation, acceptance, and the beauty of change, we can have a positive impact on the lives of others and contribute to the greater harmony of the world.